I now invite the House to elect a speaker.
Mr. Clerk, I would like to propose that Mr. Joseph
Having confirmed that one nominee, Mr. Joseph Isaac, have consented for his election as Speaker of the House of Assembly, since we have looked one name before the House, in accordance with Standing Order 4.3, I now declare that Mr. Joseph Isaac has been elected Speaker of the House of Assembly.
It is with great and deep humility that I beg to express my grateful thanks for the high honor that this honorable house has bestowed on me. To God be the glory. Great things he has done. Though I'm not perfect, I will, as usual, give my best in the service of Dominica. I tell you that I give my full commitment to ensure objective, transparent, and balanced debate in this honorable house. Thank you to everyone who has played a part in my journey in public life thus far. Thank you.
Congratulatory remarks to the new speaker.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, I believe it will take us some time to refer to you as Mr. Speaker. In the event that we refer to you as Madam Speaker, take no offense, please. But I rise to congratulate you on assuming this high office of Speaker. I will say, Mr. Speaker, that I believe that we need to start ascribing to this high office the respect which it truly deserves in our country. I think we take very lightly the importance of this high office in our country. And I hope that our country can grow of age and maturity to recognize the importance of the function, the role, and the respectability of the office of Speaker. But I also want to say to you, Mr. Speaker, that the House is governed by rules, and they are captured in what we call the standing orders of the House of Assembly. That's what guides the proceedings here. And we have no doubt that you will carry out your function in total respect and recognition of the standing orders of the House, which governs the management and administration of what happens in this House of Assembly. We, on the government side, we will continue to respect the rules of the House. I give you the assurance. And I give you the further assurance that we will respect your decisions as you seek to guide the debates which will take place here over the next 5 years, God willing. So I wish you God's guidance, God's blessings. I have a little experience in the House, and I can offer my little experience to you from time to time if you so desire, because as members of the House, we have to assist each other in our growth and understanding of the rules and of the House and how we believe that the debate should be conducted. But I sincerely want to congratulate you, and I have no doubt that your dear father would have been very proud of seeing you on this big chair. But your mom is alive. I know her very well, and I have no doubt she's happy that she has been able to bring you, to have you on earth and to see how well you have done for yourself and for your contribution to this country. Your record of contribution, notwithstanding your limited age, has been exemplary and exceptional. And I believe that in everything you have done, as far as I know, whether it's from the days of the grammar school to now in the Parliament, you have always represented your country distinction, and I have no doubt that that exemplary attitude and practice will continue in this new office. Again, I offer my sincerest congratulations, and we pray that the good Lord will bless you with good health and wisdom as you seek to guide this debate. You recognize, Mr. Speaker, you were here last term, the 9th Parliament, and I have no doubt that you would have observed certain practices, and you would have noted those practices and take note of them as you go forward. But again, my sincere congratulations to you.
I too would like to rise to offer my congratulations to the just elected Speaker of the House, Joseph Isaac. Of course, as a long-time friend, classmate, and right now fellow politician, I have no doubt, as the Honorable Prime Minister just said, that you will do a stellar job. Of course, you come in on the heels of your predecessor, Mrs. Alex Boyd Knight, who served for quite some time and did a stellar job controlling the affairs of this honorable house. What I have no doubt, I'm knowing you for almost my whole life, that you will aspire to do an equally good job as us. Good luck, my friend, and well wishes. Thank you.
Election of Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to propose that Mr. Philip Roll be elected as Deputy Speaker for the House of Assembly.
I beg to second the proposal.
Is there any other person who wishes to propose? I now declare that Mr. Philip Roll has been elected Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to extend heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Philip Rowe on his election to the position of Deputy Speaker of this Honorable House. Mr. Philip Rowe, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Senator Philip Rowe is just 24 years old. And I believe that that is a very important recognition, that if young people are given the opportunity to serve, they can do well. But young people must be prepared and willing to serve, and not be mere bystander or to simply criticize that which is being done or that which is not being done, but to put our hands to the plow. And this is a young man who was graduated from university. He's 24 years old, and now he sits in this honorable house as a senator and also as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. I have absolutely no doubt that this will serve as an impetus, a motivation to the young people, not only in Dominica, but the region, of the need to come forward to serve. And for me, this is a major achievement on the part of the Dominican Labour Party, that through its education revolution and a desire to see at least one university graduate in every home, that there are people who have seen the benefits of that vision and have placed themselves in positions to take advantage of the opportunities created by this Dominican Labour Party administration. And I believe too that it is also a recognition of the leadership of the Dominican Labour Party. And I hear, Mr. Speaker, I don't only speak about the political leader, because I have always considered myself to be the least of the apostles. But it speaks to where the leadership of this party would like to see the country. And who should be the contractors, the construction workers, to build this dynamic Dominican. And I believe that it is to the young people whom we need to look to shoulder a larger part of the construction work. And so, Honorable Senator Roll, I want to congratulate you on the election. I have the greatest admiration for you and the manner in which you conduct yourself and your profound knowledge on so many things that I have had the opportunity to benefit from over time. And I will say to you that you have the best teacher in the person of your grandmother, our immediate past speaker, Honorable Alex Boyd Knight. And so there is a sort of passing of the baton from the matriarch of the family, and I suspect at some point you may become the patriarch of the family. And I believe her heart is contented, and her contribution to Dominica's development shall continue in you in this noble position of Deputy Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
I too rise to congratulate Mr. Roll and to thank him for accepting to serve as Deputy Speaker and Senator. I have worked with Mr. Roll, and he is a very intelligent, ambitious young man, very disciplined, and I have no doubt that this will be manifested in his role here. So once again, I want to thank you and to congratulate you.
Almighty God, who, in thy infinite wisdom and providential goodness, has appointed the offices of rulers and councils for the welfare of society and the just government of man. We beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor, as thy servants whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in thy presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote thy honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge, all which we ask in the name and for the sake of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Administration of oath or formation of allegiance and oath of office to Speaker and Deputy Speaker. I, Joseph Isaac, do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica, according to law. So help me God. I, Joseph Isaac, do swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Speaker without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and that in the execution of the function of that office, I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. So help me God. I, Philip Roll, do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica, according to law. So help me God. I, Philip Roll, do swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Deputy Speaker without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and that in the execution of the function of that office, I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. So help me God.
I must call upon members of the House to take the oath of allegiance or affirmation of allegiance. Yes, I repeat. I must call upon members of the House to take the oath of allegiance or affirmation of allegiance. We call the first person Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit.
Bible. See, people don't walk in their Bibles these days, you see. Everybody has smartphones and so on. Bible on it. Bible on it.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit,
I, Roosevelt Skerrit,
do swear that I will faithfully
do swear that I will faithfully
bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mi-
There's another one, I know. This one.
Mr. Levi A. Peter.
I, Levi A. Peter,
I, Levi A. Peter,
do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
Mr. Reginald Austri.
I, Reginald Austri,
I, Reginald Austri,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Ian Douglas.
I, Ian Douglas,
I, Ian Douglas,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Rayburn Blackmore.
I, Rayburn Blackmore,
I, Rayburn Blackmore,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Dr. Kenneth Darrow.
I, Kenneth Darrow,
I, Kenneth Darrow,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God. Congrats again.
Ms. Dennis A. Charles.
I, Dennis A. Charles,
I, Dennis A. Charles,
do solemnly affirm
solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
Dr. Irvin McIntyre.
I, Irvin McIntyre,
I, Irvin McIntyre,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ms. Rosalind Paul.
I, Rosalind Paul,
I, Rosalind Paul,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Kasani Laville.
I, Kasani Laville,
I, Kasani Laville,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Fidel Grant.
I, Fidel Grant,
I, Fidel Grant,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mrs. Octavia Alfred.
I, Octavia Alfred,
I, Octavia Alfred,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
Mr. Cozier Frederick.
I, Cozier Frederick,
I, Cozier Frederick,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
Ms. Greta Roberts.
I, Greta Roberts,
I, Greta Roberts,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Dr. Addis King, sorry.
I, Addis King,
I, Dr. Addis King,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Gregory Riviere.
I, Gregory Riviere,
I, Gregory Revere,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Miss Lady Catherine Daniel.
I, Lady Catherine Daniel,
I, Lady Catherine Daniel,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Edward Bridges.
I, Edward Regis,
I, Edward Regis,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Melissa Popon Skerrit,
I, Melissa Popon-Skerrit,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte,
I, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte,
affirm you affirm. I, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte,
I, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
Mr. Kent Edwards.
I, Kent Edwards,
I, Kent Edwards,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Oscar Judge.
I, Oscar George,
I, Oscar George,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Lennox Linton.
I, Lennox Linton,
I, Lennox Linton,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Nichols Esprit.
I, Nichols Esprit,
I, Nichols Esprit,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Hector John.
I, Hector John,
I, Hector John,
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Daniel Eluge.
I, Daniel Luge.
I, Daniel Luge,
I, Daniel Luge,
I, Daniel Luge,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law.
Mrs. Francisca Joseph.
I, Francisca Joseph,
I, Francisca Joseph,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
to the Commonwealth of Dominica,
according to law.
according to law. Thank you.
Mr. Clement Marcel.
I, Clement Masley Jr.,
I, Clement Masley Jr.,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
Mrs. Ernie John Finn.
I, Ernie L. John Finn,
I, Ernie Lawrence John Finn,
do swear
do swear
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mrs. Adette Sanford.
I, Annette Sanford,
I, Annette Sanford,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
that I will faithfully bear true allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
to the Commonwealth of Dominica
according to law.
according to law.
Motion on amendment to the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I move to propose two amendments or additions to the order paper. The first is that I move that under item 12, presentation of papers, that the report of the Director of Audit of the Public Accounts for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2016, be inserted as Roman numeral 9 on the order paper. Do you have a second? No, I have a second one. Okay. The second amendment, Mr. Speaker, which I wish to propose, is for an inclusion of a motion to honor Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, our immediate past Speaker, in recognition of her services to the Honorable House. And I wish to propose, Mr. Speaker, that this be placed immediately after resumption of sitting and before confirmation of minutes. Thank you.
Seconded, Mr. Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that two motions be amended to the order paper to be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Adoption of the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the order paper be adopted as amended.
Seconded.
It has been moved and seconded that the order paper be adopted as amended. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Suspension of sitting.
I now suspend the sitting in order to meet His Excellency the President.
Mr. Speaker!
I will now invite His Excellency the President to address the Honorable House.
Honorable members of the House of Assembly, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am delighted to be here and wish at this juncture to express sincere thanks for the invitation extended to my wife and I to attend the opening of the first meeting of the first session of the 10th Parliament. I also warmly welcome and embrace the opportunity accorded to me to address this august body on this most significant occasion. Please accept, Mr. Speaker, my sincerest congratulations to you on your election as Speaker of this Honorable House of Assembly. I have every confidence that you will have sought to familiarize yourself with the standing orders and practices of this Honorable House, and that in quick time, you will demonstrate a comprehensive grasp and understanding of the rules of this Honorable House, and that you will apply these rules with distinction, discretion, objectivity, and impartiality. I pray God, the Almighty God, will bestow His blessings and guidance upon you as you undertake this challenging duty as Speaker of this House of Assembly. I also wish to congratulate the Honorable Senator, Mr. Philip Roll, on his election as Deputy Speaker at the age of 24, quite possibly the youngest Deputy Speaker in the region. I am reminded of William Pitt the Younger, who in 1783 became Prime Minister of Great Britain at the age of 24. Congratulations. Allow me also to thank Mrs. Alex Boyd Knight, the immediate past Speaker of the House of Assembly, for almost 20 years of dedicated and sterling service to the House. My wife and I wish Mrs. Boyd Knight the very best in her future endeavors. I also offer congratulations to all the honorable members who were successful at the polls at the recently held general elections of December 6, 2019, as well as to the senators who have been appointed in accordance with Section 34(1)(a) and (b) of the Constitution to complete the composition of this Honorable House. I commend and congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister for his party's success at the polls for an unprecedented 5th consecutive 5-year term in office. And if I may take the liberty to quote the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I quote, "To win a 4th term individually and a 5th term as a party is a political equivalent of climbing Mount Everest. Many have tried hitherto, and few have reached the mountain top." Unquote. May the Prime Minister and his cabinet be led by the wisdom and understanding that comes from the Most High. I also congratulate the leader of the opposition, who was sworn in by the President on Friday, the 7th of February, 2020, and say to him and to the members of the parliamentary opposition that yours is a most sacred task, and to encourage you to remain true to the oaths that you have subscribed to. The observers from the OAS, the Commonwealth Secretariat, and CARICOM, who were invited to cover the elections, have all reported publicly that the elections were free and fair. I therefore wish to congratulate the citizens of our beloved country who conducted themselves in a responsible and respectful manner on polling day, and the election officials for their service to the country. This institution, the House of Assembly, is a forum where, in accordance with the Constitution, laws are formulated for the peace, order, and good governance of the state. Typically, the debates take place under the watchful eye of the Speaker, whose responsibility it is to facilitate the contributions of members on both sides while ensuring compliance with the standing orders. It also implies that the debates which take place within this chamber would be based on fact and guided by research, thereby serving as a credible source of information for public opinion. Such optimum involvement would allow for consensus on difficult issues to emerge more frequently within the House of Assembly, a feature which would result in benefits for the country as a whole. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House of Assembly, as we sit here today, we must give thanks to the Lord, for he has been good to us. Two events during the term of the last Parliament will remain forever etched in the minds of all Dominicans, and that is the massive and extensive damage inflicted on us by the rains of Tropical Storm Erica in August of 2015, followed by the greatest disaster that has ever befallen our nation, Hurricane Maria, in September of 2017. These two events in the space of 2 years destroyed all that we had built over the 40 years of our independence and beyond, amounting to 316% of our gross domestic product, that is 90% in 2015 and 226% in 2017, including the loss of a combined total of 95 human lives. We were overwhelmed by the magnitude of the disaster and the destruction we suffered from these weather systems. However, we did not surrender, but rather placed our trust and faith in the Lord. And the Lord broke the yoke of our burden and shone his light upon us. Our blessings multiplied and our joy increased. It is taken from Isaiah chapter 9, verses 3 and 4. Mr. Speaker, we have made significant strides in our national recovery efforts, particularly in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, resolving to combat global climate change by rebuilding even better and stronger to make Dominica the first climate-resilient country in the world by 2030. To realize this goal, the government integrated climate resilience and disaster risk management into the National Growth and Development Planning Framework. This is quite evident in the establishment of the Climate Resilience Execution Agency of Dominica, CREED, which will facilitate the implementation of projects focusing not just on physical reconstruction, but also on establishing climate resilient systems. The National Resilient Development Strategy, NRDS, is another tool that was developed to transform this economy in a sustainably resilient manner, thereby increasing the probability of attaining key development objectives of economic growth, employment generation, poverty reduction, social protection, and the overall improvement in the quality of life of all citizens as outlined in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It is this broad framework which provides the roadmap and guidelines for taking the country to where we would wish it to be by 2030. Major works have been undertaken to rebuild the housing stock using CBI funds, to repair and develop the road infrastructure, to support investment in hotel infrastructure, to redevelop the education, health, and social welfare infrastructure, to diversify the agricultural sector, to develop the geothermal energy potential for local consumption and in the medium term for export, and to place the international airport development and the cruise port and cruise village on the front burner. This development trust should instill in us a great sense of hope and optimism as Dominicans, whether living at home or abroad. Mr. Speaker, in the global village of today's world, there appears to be no shortage of challenges or threats to the survival and or prosperity of small states. Indeed, it appears as if new challenges continue to emerge on a regular basis. One example of this phenomenon is the recent outbreak of the coronavirus in the People's Republic of China, and which so far has been responsible for about 910 deaths and about 40,500 confirmed cases of the illness. Additionally, it is being reported that the coronavirus has already spread to at least 28 countries. While the Caribbean, Dominica included, has not so far been directly impacted, we are most vulnerable. It is well known that when major countries sneeze, we, the small island developing states, catch a cold, and no pun is intended. And therefore, there is no room for complacency, neither is there room for undue agitation regarding what, by all accounts, is an emerging global crisis. In this regard, I take the opportunity to acknowledge the response of the government in working in collaboration with the key stakeholders, spearheaded by the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and New Health Investments. Further, it is my understanding that this initiative by the ministry is being undertaken in tandem with related initiatives by the World Health Organization, the Pan American Health Organization, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, and the local embassy of the People's Republic of China, among other international partners. Government is on record in conveying its solidarity and sympathy to the government and people of the People's Republic of China, a sentiment which I endorse, as this country is the world's second largest economy. It has the largest population in the world. It is a permanent member of the Security Council and an important development partner of Dominica. We therefore share in the concerns and the sufferings of the government and people of China at this time, as we do with all countries and peoples who have already recorded confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House of Assembly, free and fair elections are the bedrock of our democracy, indeed of any true democracy. The competitive and adversarial nature of election campaigns can be heated and divisive. And the 2019 election campaign can truly be described as one of the most unusual and divisive campaigns in our political history. Notwithstanding the heat of the campaign, which at times focused on the Electoral Commission and even on the office of the President, the process, as provided for in the Constitution and in the House of Assembly Elections Act, was diligently followed for the holding of the general election. Mr. Speaker, there is the unfinished business of electoral reform, and I would urge members on both sides of this honorable House and the public at large to approach the debate on electoral reform from the point of view of ensuring that the rights of all eligible voters are protected, and that the names of persons who are not eligible to be on the voters list in conformity with our laws are struck off. There should therefore no longer be any room for animosity, quarrels, hateful speech, and conflicts on the matter of electoral reform, which is a continuing process and not a short-term, once and for all exercise. We need also to empower the Electoral Commission to proceed with the exercise of issuing ID cards, which will be used for voting by approving the necessary legislation. We need also to encourage confidence in the institutions of the state and the mechanisms they provide for resolving differences. Mr. Speaker, members of this honorable House, the election campaign is over, and the people have elected a government of their choice. The people have also elected a parliamentary opposition. It is for us to now put aside our differences as a parliament and as a people, focusing on what unites us rather than on what divides us, to lock arms together to face the challenges of this evolving world and to build upon the foundations we have laid over the years, particularly since the passage of Hurricane Maria, for the emergence of a modern, resilient, and sustainable Dominica. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members of this honorable House, for the courtesy of your attention, and pray for the continued outpouring of God's protection and divine guidance upon you all for a fruitful and productive session today and for the life of this Parliament. May God bless you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica.
I shall now take leave of His Excellency the President. House resumes.
Mr. Speaker, I move that a message of thanks be forwarded to His Excellency, the President, for what I consider to be a timely address to this Honorable House. And I do hope that each of us will take due note of the content of His Excellency's address to this Honorable House. Thank you.
Seconded.
The question is that a message of thanks be forwarded to His Excellency the President. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Motion to in favor of Honorable Alex Boyd Knight.
A motion to Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, former Speaker of the House of Assembly, service Honorable House and to our country. Whereas the Honorable Alex Boyd Knight has demitted office as Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly, and whereas the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knight was first elected to the office of Speaker of this Honorable House on the 17th day of April 2000, and has thenceforth, for an unbroken period of almost 20 years, unstintingly served this Honorable House with great dedication, stoicism, and distinction. And whereas this Honorable House considers it most desirable that the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knight be recognized for this unstinting and dedicated service to this House and the state, and whereas this Honorable House considers that as a token of this recognition, the House should confer the title of Speaker Emeritus upon the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knight. Be it resolved that this Honorable House now bestows upon the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knight the title Speaker Emeritus and a plaque memorializing the bestowing of this title, and that a copy of the minutes of this meeting be provided to the Honorable Alex Boyd Knight. And be it further resolved that the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knight be known and referred to for purposes of protocol and at all official functions as the Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, Speaker Emeritus. Thank you.
Second motion. Mr. Speaker, I too, in seconding the motion, would like to lend my support to this motion and to say a few words on behalf of the motion before this Honorable House. Mr. Speaker, there are not many of us in this House right now who have served almost 20 years. I believe there are two other members of the House, Mr. Speaker, who would have come in at the time that the Speaker came in. And I myself, I joined this Honorable House a few months thereafter. So I have been in the charge and under the charge of the Honorable Speaker Emeritus of the House, Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, for my duration of the time in this House. And like the mover of the motion, the Honorable Prime Minister, leader in the House, Madam Speaker, have said that the Speaker Emeritus have served with distinction for almost 20 years. Mr. Speaker, I don't think that there is any other speaker in the region that can rival that contribution made. And, Mr. Speaker, what is even noteworthy is that the Honorable Alex Boyd Knight have distinguished herself not only nationally and regionally, but internationally, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker Emeritus, Mr. Speaker, has been a world leader in parliamentary procedure. And she has taken the flag of Dominica, Mr. Speaker. She's a flag bearer internationally for our nation. And I believe bestowing upon her the honor of Speaker Emeritus is fitting and duly proper, Mr. Speaker, recognition for a person who has distinguished herself and has, Mr. Speaker, been able to rise to such stature in our country, Mr. Speaker. I believe she has been an example, not only to women of Dominica, the region, and the world, Mr. Speaker, but all parliamentarians. And, Mr. Speaker, you see, when we have finished with the rough and tumble business of electoral politics, and we become members of this honorable house, Mr. Speaker, we have to rise to the occasion and become statesmen in our own right. And I think there is no other better example that has been set throughout the years than Speaker Emeritus Alex Boyd Knight. Mr. Speaker, I have been following parliamentary procedure because I come from a political family, and I have been visiting the House well before I actually became a member of the House. I remember as an infant visiting the House of Assembly when it used to be at government headquarters, Mr. Speaker. So I have observed speakers before Speaker Emeritus from way back, Mr. Speaker. We've had various speakers of this House. And I must say, Mr. Speaker, that this Speaker Emeritus has stood out, Mr. Speaker, and she will be remembered, Mr. Speaker, for her work and her contribution to the development process, not only of democracy and of parliamentary procedure, but of national development. Because, Mr. Speaker, this Speaker Emeritus have taken us through some very rough times. I remember when we had to come into this House, Mr. Speaker, during the austerity program, and we had to take some serious measures to rescue this country economically. And then again, through the various disasters, just recently, after the worst natural disaster known to man in the Western Hemisphere, Hurricane Maria, when we had to come here and take measures like the state of emergency. And this Speaker Emeritus guided us so ably, so competently through those processes. Madam Speaker, you shall be forever remembered. And I'm happy to be part of a government that actually gives you your flowers while you're alive, actually bestows upon you a title which is a right to give you. Madam Speaker, we want to tell you at this point, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the work that you have done. As a young parliamentarian coming in here, actually in my 20s, and the way that you have guided us, Madam Speaker, not only myself, but my colleagues who were here from the start, the Honourable Prime Minister, the Honourable Reginald Austri, the senior minister in this cabinet and in this government, and the young parliamentarians who are just coming in today, Madam Speaker. I think you should actually take this time off to write a book so that it can be used for posterity, and future parliamentarians coming and stepping up to make their contribution will forever call the name Speaker Emeritus Alex Boyd Knight. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to conclude on this motion, but to also extend congratulations on my own behalf as a Member of Parliament for the Vickers constituency to Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, Speaker Emeritus, and to say that I have learned quite a bit from her and sought guidance in terms of how should we conduct ourselves in this parliament. I remember, Mr. Speaker, you see, I warn you, I'll call Speaker from time. I think one of the things I remember from Madam Speaker was that, you see, her clock, where I am concerned, her clock was always faster than mine. So, but other than that, you know, we have always sought to respect her ruling and her guidance. And the government side has come to this House with this motion because I believe it is time that our country and our citizens recognize people for their public service. You know, we benefit from people's service to the public, but we fail to show appreciation for it, especially when these people no longer hold these offices. And I think that history will not record us or record our contributions as citizens nicely if we continue to fail to pay attention and regard and respect and gratitude. Because gratitude is a word and a practice that is becoming obsolete in the psyche of humanity. And I believe that we need to go back to the days where thank you is part of our daily routine. Because if we lose our soul, the people, the nation, we will not benefit from all of what this government and our people are doing for us in Dominica. And I am very, very happy to be part of this effort towards a recognition of gratitude to our people. And you can say what you want about Madam Speaker, but one cannot take away from the fact that her contribution to Dominica can never be disputed by anybody in this country. And on a more personal side, I had the opportunity to visit Madam Speaker at her residence, and I had some cake, and there were, you know, all sorts of nuts in this cake and so on. And I had some sorrel that she harvested from her garden. And I saw, you know, an exquisite kitchen. She has a new kitchen, much better than the one she had previously. And I said, you know, whenever I go to Trafalgar, I am sure to be able to partake from the, you know, extraordinary presentations which Madam Speaker normally does. And she makes one of the best crabbacks in hunting season, I must add. And some of the best stuffed wings and stuffed legs, chicken legs. Madam Speaker, may God guide your steps. May God bless you with continued good health and strength, and we look forward to calling on you from time to time for further guidance. Thank you very much. God bless. Mr. Speaker, you're going to say something?
Yes.
Yes, sure,
yes. Yes. I would like to extend congratulations on the motion on my own behalf and as the chair also. I must say that I might be one of the few persons who have served Parliament under the same speaker, but on different sides. And you will hear my language. I will not be talking about opposition and other side, but minority and majority side. So when I was on the minority side, I sought the guidance of Madam Speaker, who I saw as an intellect and a motherly figure. And she was very objective when giving guidance. We debate, and then I'll take on what I think would be beneficial for me as a person on the minority side. I continued that approach even when I was on the majority side. And some would even say that Madam Speaker liked me. I remember she told the Prime Minister once to take his seat because I was right. So, Madam Speaker, I would like to congratulate you in my own person. I will now put the question to the House. Be it resolved that this Honorable House now bestows upon the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knights the title Speaker Emeritus and a plaque memorializing the bestowing of this title, and that a copy of the minutes of this meeting be provided to the Honorable Alex Boyd Knight. And be it further resolved that the said Honorable Alex Boyd Knight be known and referred to for the purposes of protocol and at official functions as Honorable Alex Boyd Knights, Speaker Emeritus. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I would like to invite Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, Speaker Emeritus, to approach us so that we could present the plaque and the scroll.
You, Madam Speaker, for your true and dedicated service to the Parliament and to the people of Dominica. I wish on behalf of the government to present you with a token of appreciation, this plaque.
I wish to present to you, as past speaker and relative, this citation on your behalf. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. I think for the first time in my life, I'm at a loss for words. I'm truly overwhelmed. It's so nice to be appreciated. And I'm very grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister, members of the government side, and all those persons who have met me, WhatsApped me, phoned me to tell me that I will always be Madam Speaker. So government has formalized what everybody who meets me and contacts me has been telling me. I want to thank everybody, the Prime Minister, the government side, and everybody who has thought so kindly of me. I highly appreciate it. And I'm at a crossroads in my life, and there's so many signs. I don't really know which one, in what order to follow, but I can assure you I'll be following every one. Because I still like to cook, I still like to write, I still like to teach, and I have some knowledge that if anybody calls on me, I'd be only too happy to pass on. God has been good to me. Everything that has happened to me in my life is from God. I want to thank my family for being so patient with me, because I get a little testy when things go awry, as most people know. But I've always been able to keep focused, and this has been a tremendous journey, and I know I'm not over it. Thank you all.
Obituary and congratulatory remarks.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, my eyes fell on Representative Ed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me first of all congratulate you on having been elected Speaker of the House. I know that you will do an exceptional job, very vocal, and that you will continue to guide us. I also want to congratulate Madam Speaker. I had the distinct pleasure of serving as Deputy Speaker during the last term of the House, and she was certainly an exceptional guide in teaching me the rules of the House, and I admonish you to continue to learn from her as long as we have her with us. But I rise specifically to congratulate Mr. Walter Asa Banton Edwards, my constituent, who was recently appointed Goodwill Ambassador to serve the Commonwealth of Dominica. Mr. Edwards, of course, comes from Granby, but he is a true Dominican who has served his country well and who has promoted Dominica and Dominica's best interest through entertainment. I want to say that when we continue to recognize the work of young people, it goes a long way in actually defining whom we are as a people. And so the sphere of entertainment is one that is not usually recognized. The artists are not usually recognized. But I am happy that the Cabinet of the Commonwealth of Dominica recognize the importance of the work that Mr. Walters has been doing over the years and will continue to do. And I want to say to him, if he's listening, that we appreciate his work and we believe that what he continues to do in the best interest of Dominica will always redound to the benefits of all our people. So I want to congratulate him and to say to him that we love him, we love his work, and Dominica will continue to benefit from all his endeavors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I rise first to extend condolences to the family of the late Honorable Gertrude Roberts, who passed away late last year, a former member of Parliament and also a former Minister of Government. And to say that I have been here long enough to have served with Honorable Roberts in the Parliament. I here being on the government side, she on the opposition side. But there was always this mother and son relationship which we had. And though she would have said many things that she ought not to have said, but I always allow her to have a bite. Because of her seniority, I felt that it was impossible for me as a 30-somebody-year-old to be attacking a senior citizen. But we always had a laugh about it when there was a break. And she developed a habit of always looking for me to come to hold her hand down the steps here when her daughter came to pick her up, that almost every evening I would hold her hand and walk down the steps with her and take her into the car. You know, and I want to say to people, especially young people, that part of my personal success in life is my respect for senior citizens. And my reverence to senior citizens. And I think that we have to bring these things back into our society. You know, I think we have to bring this thing back into society. So I really want to extend my condolences to the family and place in public record that of the government, though we have done so in the past. I also want to congratulate everyone who was successful at the last elections. As has been noted, every international and regional organization which observed our elections declared them to have been free and fair, including the Organization of American States, whose Secretary General were making all sorts of prejudicial statements about Dominica. But having come here themselves and saw for themselves and heard for themselves, they declared our elections to have been absolutely free and fair and followed the laws of Dominica and international best practices. And so I congratulate everyone who was successful, and I also want to congratulate those who have been appointed as senators to this honorable House. And I look forward, Mr. Speaker, to a very constructive engagement, and let us see if we can take the debate in the House to debate ideas, to debate policies, to debate programs, and to debate what is best for Dominica. I am not sure how long I'll be in this House, Madam Speaker, but I would like for us to, elevate the discourse in this House, based on research, based on understanding of facts, and based on a clear understanding of where our country should be and what path our country should be following. And at the end of the day, we can still break bread together. We can still break bread together. Being in politics does not mean that we have to be enemies, that we cannot speak to each other, that we cannot engage each other, that we cannot embrace each other. You know. To whose benefit? Really? Whose benefit? Because I believe that when we give love, there is a greater freedom of our spirits. Our heart is lighter, our burden is lighter. But if we carry the load of animosity, then we are causing ourselves to be on the track for heart diseases. And the burden is much more difficult. Mr. Speaker, I can sit in this honorable house. I fly like a bird. Sometimes I can sting like a bee, but my only interest in really, Mr. Speaker, is to serve this people of Dominica. And when they say, look, scary, it is time to go back to your home in Vegas, then I will gladly oblige. But we have to see this as an honor and a privilege to be at the service of our people. And at the end of the day, we each of us must determine how shall history record our contributions. And what do we say when the good Lord comes back to judge the living and the dead? Will he say, well done, good and faithful servant, and you move up to the pearly gates? Or do we descend into eternal damnation? I want my name, Mr. Speaker, to be the first to enter the pearly gates. And I want history to record my contribution as saying he tried. And he was positive, he was constructive, and he did the best that he could do with the resources the good Lord has given unto him. I also want to place on record my extraordinary thanks to the voters and residents of the Vegas constituency who have elected me 5 consecutive times into this parliament. And to each of these polling districts, all of which I have won and continue to win, Mr. Speaker, in large margins. And, you know, these people, these voters in this constituency, are some of the most noble and sincere voters you can find anywhere in the world. And they trusted me at age 26, 27 to be their parliament. And they have given me that further mandate at age 47 to be the parliament. And what I've been hearing them saying, Mr. Speaker, is that, look, it looks like we want you to be there, but when you're just about to turn 100. But seriously, Madam Speaker, these are very, very sincere people. And I always recognize, Mr. Speaker, with all of the titles I have, that the most important one is the Member of Parliament for the Vegas constituency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I too rise to congratulate yourself, like I've done before, and of course the Deputy Speaker of this Honorable House, and of course to offer my personal congratulations to Speaker Emeritus Honorable Alex Boyd Knight. I'm going to miss you. I mean, I don't want you to tear up again, but I think I speak for all of us on this side of the House when we say that we're going to miss you. You were a little strict sometimes, but I think it was all done in good faith so we could learn, especially new members like myself who can be a bit rowdy occasionally. But Madam Speaker, I rise specifically to congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister and leader of the Dominican Labour Party while he has congratulated everybody else, I think it would be remiss of me if I do not stand to also offer my congratulations, Mr. Speaker, on his sterling leadership of the great Dominican Labour Party. Leading the party to an unprecedented fifth term in office and fourth term as the political leader, Mr. Speaker. And of course, we've seen examples of his sterling leadership as the Prime Minister, having steered us through some troubled waters, Tropical Storm Erika, Hurricane Maria, among many others. And of course, all of us on this side of the House, and of course, I notice half of the other side, we would like to physically, we would like to let him know how appreciative we are of his efforts. And while I know he'll be the last person and of course speak of team effort and all of this, it wouldn't be done and we wouldn't be where we are today, as I said, especially in our post-disaster recovery efforts, were it not for his sterling leadership. And we on this side and the others over there because of his also leadership as a political leader of the Great Dominican Labour Party. So, Mr. Prime Minister, we would also like to congratulate you. Thank you very much.
Confirmation of minutes of meeting of Tuesday 30th, Wednesday 31st July, and Thursday 1st and Friday 2nd August 2019.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the minutes of the meeting of Tuesday 30th and Wednesday 31st July and Thursday 1st and Friday 2nd August 2019 be confirmed as circulated.
Seconded, Mr. Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that the minutes of the meeting of Tuesday 30th and Wednesday 31st July and Thursday 1st and Friday 2nd August 2019 be confirmed and amended as circulated. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Announcements by Speaker.
I would just like to take this opportunity to point out to members of this Honorable House some key points that we want to follow during the debate later on in this Honorable House. First of all, the House will be adjudicated on the basis of laws and rules, particularly on the standing orders of the House of Assembly, not just based on opinions. I'd urge all members, both on the minority and majority side, to come well-researched, be objective and transparent in your distilling of your ideas. Also, I'll remind members that during the national election campaign, there are certain matters that came up. And I would like all members to bear that in mind. One such matter is electoral reform, the issue of decriminalization of marijuana, the issue of the environment, and on both teams or sides, there was also passion in the campaign on the modernization of our capital. I would like you to bear that in mind And remember that when we come to this honorable house, that we remember the old saying from long time days, times of Christ, that do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. So just be guided by that. And I think we'll have a fruitful debate in this honorable house. Thank you.
Presentation of papers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the following. 1, proclamation dissolving Parliament, SRO number 42 of 2019. 2, proclamation summoning Parliament, SRO number 2 of 2020. 3, schedule of supplementary appropriation for the period July 2018 to June 2019. 4, Dominican Social Security Benefit Regulations. 5, Excise Tax Second Schedule Amendment Order 2020. 6, Value Added Tax Schedules Amendment Order 2020. 7, Dominican Social Security 2016 Annual Report. 8, Invest Dominica Authority 2018 Annual Report. And 9, Report of the Director of Audit of the Public Accounts for fiscal year ended June 30, 2016.
Government notices.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will be moving the motion, supplementary estimates of expenditure for the financial year ending 30th June 2019, standing in the name of the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs, Investments, Planning, Resilience, Sustainable Development, Telecommunications, and Broadcasting on the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will be moving the motion, authorization for a credit facility from the International Development Agency for funding of the geothermal risk mitigation project, standing in the name of the Honorable Prime Minister, Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs, Investment, Resilience, Sustainable Development, Telecommunications, and Broadcasting on the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will be moving the motion, authorization for credit facility from the International Development Association for funding of the OECS Regional Health Project, standing in the name of the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs, Investments, Planning, Resilience, Sustainable Development, and Telecommunications and Broadcasting of the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will be moving the motion, Excise Tax Second Schedule Amendment Order, standing in the name of the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs, Investments, Planning, Resilience, Sustainable Development, Telecommunications, and Broadcasting on the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will be moving the motion, Value Added Tax, Schedules Amendment Order 2020, standing in the name of the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Economic Affairs, Investments, planning, resilience, sustainable development, telecommunications, and broadcasting on the other paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will take all stages of the bill shortly entitled International Business Companies Amendment Act 2020 and Offshore Banking Amendment Act 2020, standing in the name of the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs, Investments, Planning, Resilience, Sustainable Development, Telecommunications, and Broadcasting on the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg you to give notice that at a later stage of the proceedings, I will be taking all stages of the bill shortly entitled Income Tax Amendment Act 2020 and Banking Amendment Act 2020, standing in my name on the other paper.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at a later stage of the proceeding, I'll be taking all the stages of the bills shortly entitled Money Laundering Prevention Amendment Act 2020, Proceeds of Crimes Amendment Act 2020, and Law Revision Miscellaneous Amendment Act 2020, standing in my name on the other paper.
Statements by Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to issue a very short but important statement. A statement on the coronavirus currently affecting the People's Republic of China. Mr. Speaker, I stand to express our solidarity, prayers, and empathy to the people and government of the People's Republic of China as they confront this unfortunate coronavirus. We extend sincere condolences to the families of those who have succumbed to this dreadful virus, and also extend our prayers to those currently battling with this virus for a speedy and successful recovery. The government of Dominica commends the leadership of President Xi and Premier Li Keqiang on their extraordinary efforts and the transparent manner in which they have been treating with and managing this crisis. We also thank them for the care and concern which they have shown to our students and ambassador resident in the People's Republic of China. The government of Dominica urges all nations to work diligently with the People's Republic of China as it combats this coronavirus. The government of Dominica wishes to say to all nations that this is not a time for nations to take decisions in an effort to isolate the People's Republic of China. The government of Dominica, in a show of gratitude and concern to the people of the People's Republic of China, will make a donation of 10,000 face masks to the government of the People's Republic of China through our embassy in Beijing. We say to our steadfast friends, the People's Republic of China, that Dominica stand at your side in this hour of great difficulty for your nation. May God bless your efforts, and may God bless the people of the People's Republic of China and its government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Introduction of bills.
Mr. Speaker, when you work in the public sector, your time is free. when you work in the private sector, your time is very expensive. And I know that many people here come from the private sector, and I would not want to cost them too much more money. So I wish to move, Mr. Speaker, that we suspend, correct? Suspend this Honorable House until 3 p.m. this afternoon.
Seconded, Mr. Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that this House be suspended until 3 p.m. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. The House stands suspended at 3 p.m. until 3 p.m.
Mr.